Amara had been working at the jazz bar for years. Night after night, she moved between tables, refilling drinks, taking orders, observing people without really being seen herself. Life had a rhythm, predictable and safe, but it also felt small. Then one night, everything shifted. A man walked in, moving through the smoky room as if he owned the air around him. Alexander Kane, mid-40s, tall, well-groomed, exuding quiet confidence. To most, he was just another customer, but for Amara, there was something different, something that made her pulse quicken. He ordered a rare whiskey that the bar didn't usually keep in stock. Without hesitation, Amara prepared it, improvising, her hands steady, her mind alert. She placed the glass before him, and their eyes met. There were no words, no introduction, just an unmistakable spark, a connection that neither of them could define. The next evening, he returned. Same table, same gaze. But this time, he said something that startled her. "Don't serve me. Sit for a minute. Tell me about yourself." Amara hesitated, caught between caution and curiosity. But she obeyed. She sat across from him, her hands fidgeting lightly in her lap, feeling the weight of his stare. For the first time in years, she felt truly seen. Soon, a pattern emerged. Alexander began giving her small, unusual tasks. One night, he left an envelope filled with cash and a note. "Deliver this across town. No questions." She followed the instructions, her heart racing, unsure why she obeyed a man she barely knew. "Another evening," he said. "Choose my drink without asking. Surprise me." Her hands trembled as she prepared his order, a strange mix of excitement and apprehension coursing through her. And yet another time. "Don't look for me tomorrow." But wait. Each task was confusing, dangerous even, and yet she continued. She began to understand that these weren't random errands. They were tests, challenges meant to reveal something deeper about her. Through it all, she began to see a different side of him. Beneath the wealth, the confidence, and the mystery, there was loneliness, a vulnerability that he rarely showed. And she found herself drawn to it, drawn to him, not knowing that she was falling in love with a man whose life was far more complex and dangerous than she could imagine. Nights became a silent montage of longing. Amara walked alone through the city streets at night, carrying the envelopes he entrusted to her. She waited at the bar long after closing, tracing her fingers over the glass he had held, imagining his thoughts, feeling the strange warmth of anticipation. But everything changed the night she discovered the truth. One of his friends, careless in conversation, called him Mr. Kane. Curiosity overcame her caution. She searched his name. The results were staggering. Alexander Kane was not just rich, he was dangerously powerful. A real estate tycoon, a man with rumored ties to politics and shadows of influence she didn't want to understand. Her heart pounded. Did she fall for a man or a myth? Was the spark between them real, or was it just the allure of his dangerous reputation? Eventually, she confronted him. "Why me? Why these games?" she asked, her voice trembling but steady. He smiled faintly, a hint of amusement in his eyes. "Because you never asked what I'm worth." "You looked at me, not my name." He admitted the truth. Every task, every test, was a measure of her loyalty, curiosity, and honesty. He wanted to see if she valued him for who he was, not what he owned. Then came the final task. He handed her a single key. "Last task," he said softly. "Walk away, or open the door this key belongs to." The key led to a private suite above the bar. But inside, there was no luxury, no opulence, only journals, photographs from his childhood, letters, and the quiet evidence of a man who had built walls around his life long before she ever entered it. Amara stood there, conflicted. Was she ready to understand him completely? Could she accept the man behind the legend? Later, she returned to the bar. Alexander waited, cigarette in hand, expression unreadable, yet somehow softer. Without a word, she sat across from him and slid the key back. "I don't want the doors you own, Alexander," she whispered, her voice carrying the weight of everything she had learned. "I want the man who sits at this table." For the first time, his cold exterior cracked. A single tear glimmered in his eye. Their hands almost touched over the glass, and in that quiet, unspoken moment, love existed. Real, fragile, and entirely theirs. And for Amara, the rhythm of the bar, the repetition of her nights, had finally shifted. She had seen a man as he truly was, and he had seen her